Recording first. All right, good morning, everybody. Today we have Gracie doing a workout for Up and Moving. Up and Moving is a free physical activity resource for the Upper Peninsula. And so, Gracie, you'd like to go ahead?
Good morning, everybody. You're good. All right. So sorry we're starting a little bit late this morning. Had some technical difficulties, but anyway, I'm Gracie. This morning we'll be starting with a little bit of balance workout today. If you have a chance, make sure you grab some water. If you have a chair nearby, make sure you grab a chair and then maybe a blanket or anything that you'd like to lay on for when we do some core activation. All right, so while you're grabbing that stuff, I'll just introduce myself a little bit. But hi, I'm Gracie, a grad student here at Michigan Tech. I'm a master's student doing the accelerated program, so I'll be done in May, but other than that, I'm really excited to be here and join. So yeah. All right, so we're just gonna get started here. So first, we're just gonna start with a little bit of arm circles, just to start warming up the body. As people jump in. Going forward. And then we'll switch directions, going back. To really make sure we're feeling it in that shoulder. Trying to open up our ribs a little bit. All right, next, we're gonna take one of our arms and just pull it across our body for a nice good stretch. We should feel it right along our upper arm here. Nice pull, maybe a little bit down the back here too, behind the shoulder. Just kind of open up our body, get ready for the day a little bit here. Then in a second, we'll transition and switch to the other arm. So if you're ready, we'll switch, get both arms here. Hug it really tight, close to you. Once again, make sure we're feeling it in the upper arm here and down the back of the shoulder. I like to kind of maybe add a little bit of twist in it, really accentuate the stretch or really get a little bit extra out of it. Yeah. All right, then shake out the arms a little bit, loosen them up. And then we'll just spread our legs apart a little bit here and just do a nice, easy lateral lunge, I guess you would call it. Really should feel this kind of behind the leg as we're stretching. If you're not necessarily feeling it behind the leg, make sure you feel it maybe within your inner leg here, between your legs. Just it can kind of vary depending on if you want to bend your leg into it, if you want to keep your leg straight. So if you're sore in one area, stretching to the side might be better, bending that knee to get more of the inner leg. All right, and then we'll switch. Same thing. You can either keep those legs straight to feel it in the back of your legs more, or we can bend one of those legs to feel it more on the inside of our upper leg here in our quad. If you're not really getting a stretch out of this, you can either widen your stance a little bit more to reach down for it, or we can bend our leg a little bit more into it. Really, it's just gonna depend on you and what you feel comfortable doing. I don't know, I kind of just switched on my own, but if you haven't yet, make sure you switch, get both sides. I think I mentioned it, but I can't remember. All right. And then now we're just gonna do some toe touches. So really just reaching down as far as you can, trying to touch your toes. I'm not someone who is flexible, so I have to bend my knees a little bit to really feel it in the back of my legs and a little bit into your lower back too. So if you need to, feel free to bend your knees a little bit. If you're worried about balance, feel free to grab a wall or the chair nearby, sticking your arm out just to keep you stable as you bend over, just using one hand to kind of reach for your toes. Whatever you're comfortable with, just do that. So really make sure we're feeling it behind our legs here, still getting that hamstring stretch. All right. Then once we're done with some toe touches, we're gonna do some quad pulls. So same thing, if you're near that chair or a wall, you can grab your right quad. I'm gonna need to hold on to something clearly. And just pull that leg all the way up to your butt or your foot up to your butt. Really should feel it in this front part of your upper leg, which is called the quad muscle. We have 4 quad muscles that make it up, so trying to work a couple of those. And then once you feel good, we'll switch. Same thing, grabbing your other foot and lifting it as close to your butt as you can. Grabbing something nearby if you need to help with balance. Otherwise, if you want to test your balance a little bit, you can try and just like find one spot in the room or on the floor and just stare at it. That always helps me if I'm trying to work on some balance as well. Oh. All right. Shake out the legs a little bit. This time, just standing in place, we're gonna put one foot in front of the other. Just kind of a little bit of a wider stance, more front to back, I guess you would say. And lean into your front leg a little bit, feeling a stretch down the front of our body, kind of down our torso and into our quad again. Once again, if you need help with some balance or just feel unstable and don't want to potentially fall over, you can hold on to a chair or a wall nearby to really make sure you get deeper into that stretch. And then when you feel ready, we'll switch sides. So same thing, this time putting your other foot in front of, switching feet, which one's in front, which one's behind. And feeling that stretch go down the front of your body, kind of in your torso here, all the way down into your quad. This will definitely help you feel looser when you're walking around today or doing any activities that are on your feet, because it really works those hips, stretches those out, gets them loose for the day. All right, then once we feel good here, just to get our heart rate up a little bit, just do a little bit of more cardio. We'll do a little bit of marching in place. So lifting our knee up, try and get as high as we can, and back down. If you want, feel free to move your arms as well, kind of get a little bit of your upper body into it as well. But that's completely up to you. If you'd rather just hold on to something for stability, feel free to grab onto a wall as you go. Or if you have that chair nearby, feel free to grab that as well. But yeah, just keep going, keep pushing. We'll grab a water break here in a second. So if you have water nearby. All right, 2 more. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, perfect. So last one before we grab some water, what we're gonna do is just nearby, once again, still standing, feel free to grab the wall or a chair nearby. But what we wanna do is just try and balance on one foot. So we're just gonna try and stay still and balance just on one of our feet for about 30 seconds here, and then we'll switch feet. But once again, if you're a little nervous about this one, feel free to grab that chair that's nearby, grab a wall, whatever it may be. If you want to still push yourself and think you can do it, you can even, I see Nancy's extending her arms here. We can extend our arms, kind of make it a little bit easier to balance, maintain our balance. All right, and then when you're ready, we're gonna switch feet, same thing. Try and maintain balance. If you need, grab that chair, grab that wall, whatever is closest to you, you feel comfortable. Really focus on pushing that foot into the ground, pushing all your toes and your heel into the ground really will help you kind of maintain that balance. Few more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. All right, good job. So now we're gonna grab some water quick if you have it nearby. And then if you have that chair nearby or some type of seat, make sure you grab that because we'll need that next. Adjust the camera a little bit. All right, so after you grab some water, we're just gonna stand behind our chair like so. And holding on to the front of it, we're just gonna lift our leg back, really trying to squeeze that butt muscle. Within our butt, we have this a glute. We have 2 glute muscles, gluteus maximus and gluteus minimus. Should know, but I don't. It's embarrassing. Anyway, if you feel like it, feel free to bend the one leg that we're balancing on to continue to extend that leg back, really squeezing that muscle, really squeezing your butt, trying to let your butt pull your leg back. We'll do 2 more and then we'll switch legs here. Okay. 2, perfect. So same thing, just switching legs, so whatever leg you just lifted, plant that one in the ground, and we'll lift the other one, just straight back. If this is, if you feel like you don't need the chair, feel free, you can just put your hands on your hips to pull your leg back as well, really working on balance. But if you're more comfortable holding on to something, feel free to do so, whatever you feel like you're able to do. All right, we'll do a couple more here. Really make sure we're squeezing that other glute and pushing our right foot into the ground to hold us stable. Okay, we'll do 1 more here. Pulling that leg back. Good. So now what we're gonna do is facing forward, still holding on to a chair or something, unless you feel you don't need so, but just to start, I'm gonna hold on to a chair. Pulling our right foot just out of our body, kind of working on that side hip muscle there. So just pulling our leg outwards to the side, just laterally. Once again, if you feel like this is too easy, feel free to step forward without the chair. And just try and work on extending that leg out to the side. All right, we'll do 1 more and then we'll switch here. Okay, so same thing, just switching feet. So ground that foot and then extend that foot to the side. Make sure whatever foot is helping you maintain balance, that knee is a little bit bent. You don't want your leg to be locked. Just it might cause some knee irritation or be harder to balance. So make sure you're nice and relaxed as we're doing this. Otherwise, you'll feel it more in that other leg as well as we go through. All right, we'll do one more here. All right, good job. Now, we're gonna just do one foot in front of the other. So I'm gonna take my right foot here and I'm just gonna stick it directly in front of me. And with my left foot, I'm just gonna stick it, the toe is gonna touch the heel in front of me. And all I wanna do is just work on some balance. So feel free to start holding on to the chair to get yourself stable and balanced. And then from there, try and lift your hands up and just hold this position for about 30 seconds here. Really make sure we're keeping our body as straight up as possible, trying to balance the weight between our front foot and our back foot. One foot should not have more of the weight on it. If you feel comfortable doing this, but you're still a little shaky, feel free to extend your arms a little bit. That'll help you remain more balanced. All right, so same thing. We're gonna go back to our original position, just legs far apart. This time we're gonna take our left foot and put it in front of us. And then our right foot, the toe will touch the left heel. So I have my left foot in front, my right foot behind. Same thing, just trying to balance here for about 30 seconds. Feel free to hold on to something if you're a little shaky, or extend those arms out wide to really work on balancing as well. Once again, make sure your weight is pretty evenly distributed. Don't have all your weight forward here or all your weight back on your back foot. And it will make balancing a little bit more difficult. Also, make sure we're taking deep breaths. We're breathing throughout this. I probably should have mentioned that before. Hopefully no one's on the floor. Having not breathing this whole time. All right. Good job. Now we are going to go to rocking the boat, this is called. So we're gonna widen our stance a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And this time, what we're gonna do is just rock back and forth. Kind of pushing our weight back and forth. Really trying to strengthen our feet and keep us stable as we rock back and forth. Because when we walk, sometimes we can step on an object that we weren't expecting, and this will kind of help us recover from any of those little mishaps. Once again, make sure we're taking nice deep breaths throughout this. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And also make sure that we're bending our knees a little bit too. We don't want our knees to lock up. Otherwise, it'll be pretty uncomfortable throughout this whole thing, and we'll get tired a lot quicker. Okay, we'll do 2 more rocks. So 1, 2, perfect. Now, we're gonna grab the chair and we're gonna use this to sit for right now. So if you have that chair or something nearby, we're gonna sit just on the edge of the chair. If I'm sitting with the chair, my back isn't quite touching the back of it. All we're gonna do now is just lift our toes up. So if you can see, I'm just lifting my toes straight up. If this seems a little easy, feel free to find a wall nearby and just leaning back and trying to lift our toes up from there. This one puts a little bit more pressure on your calves and kind of down our shins, but it's a good alternative as well. I usually like to start on the chair just to kind of ease into it, and then if you feel like that's too easy, you can lean against the wall as well. And even if you're kind of close against the wall, you can kind of lower your legs a little bit or move your legs farther out and then try and lift your toes. That's a lot more difficult, but really it's up to you what you're comfortable doing. Once again, make sure we're taking nice deep breaths. All right, we'll do 2 more of these. 1, 2. Perfect. So, good job, everyone. Now we're gonna go back to our chair. This time, same thing, sitting on the edge without our back touching. This time, we're just gonna lift our knees. So if you need to, feel free to grab the sides of your chair as you go, but just lifting our knees up and down. Try and hold it up at the top for about a second before releasing your legs. You should really feel this in your core, in your stomach. Really tightening it as you lift those legs up. If you feel like you don't need to hold on to anything, feel free to lift your hands up as you go. Since we are doing core as well, make sure we are breathing. I know for me, when I work on my core, I tend to forget to breathe. And then I'm out of breath after a couple exercises, so really make sure take a nice deep breath in, nice deep breath out. All right, we're gonna do 2 more of these, really squeezing at the top here. So 1, 2. All right, so still sitting in the chair. This time, we're just gonna do a little bit of sit to stand. So really working on standing up from sitting and working on that core strength as well. So just sitting and then up to standing and then back down. Oh, okay. Make sure we're breathing as well as we go through this. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go 2 more times, sitting and standing. So 1. And 2. All right. So now if you want, grab some water quick. We can put this chair away for right now. If you feel like you might need it, we shouldn't be doing any more balance exercises, more of a cool down and transition out. So you can keep the chair nearby if you feel comfortable, but we really won't need it for any more activities or exercises. But grab some water quick. So we're back in a standing position with our legs shoulder width apart. And all we're gonna do is stand and twist. So you can keep your arms kind of bent here at the elbows, just twisting a little bit and really kind of stretch out the back, but also working on a little bit of core stability and balance. If this makes you a little nervous about the twisting and spinning, feel free to extend your arms out more as we do it, just to kind of make you feel more stable as we're going. Really, it's just up to you, whatever you're comfortable doing. Go for about 10 more seconds here. Twisting from side to side. All right, so now, same thing, our shoulder or our feet are shoulder width apart. This time, we're just gonna stand and bend to one side, really feeling that stretch down the side of us. Usually I put my other hand kind of in my crease of my hip just to kind of push down to and get more of a stretch into it. It's really up to you. I'll come back up to take your breath and then go back into it. Make sure you're breathing as well. Nice deep breaths. All right, and now we're gonna switch hands, so other arm is up and bending to the other side. If you feel like you get a better stretch just holding this, feel free to do so. I kind of like to reset and then go back into it. Go. Okay, we'll do one more here for this side. Really squeezing it, feeling that stretch down the side of our body. And then back. All right, so for this last one here, before we begin our cool down, all we're gonna do is put our arms straight out in front of us and just hold them. Just holding our arms out in front of us, keeping them as parallel as possible or perpendicular to our body, but parallel to each other. We're just gonna hold it to kind of get a little bit of a shoulder push here. So as you get tired, your shoulders might start to burn a little bit. That's completely natural. No need to panic. If you need to, feel free to take a break, lower your arms, shake out your arms a little bit, and then get back into it. We're gonna hold it here for about 15 more seconds. Good job, keep pushing as it starts to burn. You got 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Now we can lower our arms, shake them out a little bit, loosen them up. So we're gonna go back to kind of how we started with warm up, just to cool down a little bit. We're gonna go back to our arm circles. Loosen out our shoulders a little bit. Feel free to just go one and switch directions, whatever you feel. You can even alternate arms a little bit like we're swimming. You want to change it up. Make sure you switch directions on which way your arms are going. So we're not just working one way or the other. All right. If you feel good with the arm circles, we're gonna go back to pulling our arm across. Really feeling that stretch here in our upper arm, down the shoulder a little bit. Make sure you're taking nice deep breaths as we stretch through here. Feel free to twist a little bit in the back as well if you are comfortable. All right, switch arms here. I know my shoulders are a little sore already. Those arm holds really got me. Nice deep breaths. We'll hold this for about 5 more seconds here. Really pull it tight to feel a good stretch. All right. So now we're gonna do some quad pulls again, really stretch out those quads after some balance. So feel free to grab a wall or that chair nearby if you still have it, and grabbing that leg and pulling your foot to your butt to feel a stretch nice down the front of our upper leg here. I'm gonna hold this for about 5 more seconds. Good. Take it out, and then we'll switch legs here. So whatever leg you didn't do, oh, I need the chair. Grabbing it, pulling that foot towards our butt as best you can. Really feeling that stretch down that quad here. Okay, we'll hold this for 5 more seconds. And then I'll got one more cool down exercise. All right. Shake those legs out a little bit. So now we're gonna go back to feet are shoulder width apart, hands on our hips like so. Just do a little bit of hip circles. So you can stay as tall as you want, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, we can get lower with the hip circles, really doing big wide circles as well. Really kind of stretch the back of our legs. A little bit in our hip flexors as we go forward like so. And around. If you've been going one direction, try and switch directions as well. Working the other way a little bit. All right. Continue to do this as we're gonna close out here. So thank you for letting me join you. Thanks for joining today. I hope you got some good exercises and work out of it, but good job, everyone.